Section 1 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation. Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Joshua. Transfer of leadership to Joshua, Chapter 1. Now it came to pass, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, that the Lord spoke unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead. Now therefore, arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, to you have I given it, as I spoke unto Moses, from the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, toward the going down of the sun, shall be your border. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage, for thou shalt cause this people to inherit the land which I swore unto their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, to observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayst have good success, whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayst observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not affrighted, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp, and command the people, saying, Prepare you victuals, for within 3 days ye are to pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you to possess it. And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half tribe of Manasseh spoke Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God giveth you rest, and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall abide in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan. But ye shall pass over before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and shall help them, until the Lord has given your brethren rest, as unto you, and they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God giveth them. Then ye shall return unto the land of your possession, and possess it, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you beyond the Jordan toward the sunrising. And they answered Joshua, saying, All that thou hast commanded us we will do, and whithersoever thou sendest us we will go. According as we hearkened unto Moses in all things, so we will hearken unto thee. Only the Lord thy God be with thee, as he was with Moses. Whosoever he be that shall rebel against thy commandment, and shall not hearken unto thy words in all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of good courage. End of Joshua 1. Recording by Talie. Section 2 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation. Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Talie. Joshua. Entrance into and conquest of Canaan. Circumcision and Passover. Chapters 2 through 5. Chapter 2. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out from Shechem 2 spies secretly, saying, Go, view the land and Jericho. And they went, and came into the house of a harlot, whose name was Rahab, and lay there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the land. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to thee, that are entered into thy house, for they are come to search out all the land. And the woman took the 2 men, and hid them. And she said, Yea, the men came unto me, but I knew not whence they were. And it came to pass, about the time of the shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went I know not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had spread out upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to the Jordan unto the fords, and as soon as they that pursued after them were gone out, the gate was shut. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof, and she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away before you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were beyond the Jordan, unto Sihon and to Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more spirit in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above, and on earth beneath. Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have dealt kindly with you, that ye also will deal kindly with my father's house, and give me a true token, and save alive my father, and my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men said unto her, Our lives for yours, if ye tell not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord giveth us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the side of the wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers light upon you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may ye go your way. And the men said unto her, We will be guiltless of this thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window, which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt gather unto thee into thy house thy father and thy mother, and thy brethren, and all thy father's household. And it shall be, that whosoever shall go out of the doors of the house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. But if thou utter this our business, then we will be guiltless of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear. And she said, According unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. Then the 2 men returned, and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua the son of Nun. They told him all that had befallen them. And they said unto Joshua, Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, and moreover all the inhabitants of the land do melt away before us. Chapter 3. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim, and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and they lodged there before they passed over. And it came to pass, after 3 days, that the officers went through the midst of the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When ye see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then ye shall remove from your places and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which ye must go, for ye have not passed this way heretofore. And Joshua said unto the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And Joshua spoke unto the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant, and pass on before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant, and went before the people. And the Lord said unto Joshua, This day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. And thou shalt command the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When ye are come to the brink of the waters of the Jordan, ye shall stand still in the Jordan. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, Come hither and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, Hereby ye shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Hivite, and the Perizzite, and the Girgashite, and the Amorite, and the Jebusite. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passeth on before you over the Jordan. Now, therefore, take you 12 men out of the tribes of Israel, for every tribe a man. And it shall come to pass, when the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off, even the waters that come down from above, and they shall stand in one heap. And it came to pass, when the people removed from their tents to pass over the Jordan, the priests that bore the ark of the covenant being before the people. And when they that bore the ark were come unto the Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bore the ark were dipped in the brink of the water, for the Jordan overfloweth all its banks all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from above stood, and rose up in one heap, a great way off from Adam, the city that is beside Zarethan. And those that went down toward the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, were wholly cut off, and the people passed over right against Jericho. And the priests that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan, while all Israel passed over on dry ground, until all the nation were passed clean over the Jordan. Chapter 4. And it came to pass, when all the nation were clean passed over the Jordan, that the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, Take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe a man, and command ye them, saying, Take you hence out of the midst of the Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood, 12 stones made ready, and carry them over with you, and lay them down in the lodging place where ye shall lodge this night. Then Joshua called the 12 men whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And Joshua said unto them, Pass on before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of the Jordan, and take you up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according unto the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask in time to come, saying, What mean ye by these stones? Then ye shall say unto them, Because the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when it passed over the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so, as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones out of the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord spoke unto Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. And they carried them over with them unto the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. Joshua also set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests that bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there unto this day. And the priests that bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was finished that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people, according to all that Moses commanded Joshua. And the people hastened and passed over. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over, that the ark of the Lord passed on, and the priests before the people. And the children of Reuben, and the children of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh passed on armed before the children of Israel, as Moses spoke unto them. About 40,000 ready armed for war passed on in the presence of the Lord unto battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. And the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, Command the priests that bear the ark of the testimony, that they come up out of the Jordan. Joshua therefore commanded the priests, saying, Come ye up out of the Jordan. And it came to pass that the priests that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord came up out of the midst of the Jordan. As soon as the soles of the priests' feet were drawn up unto the dry ground, that the waters of the Jordan returned unto their place, and went over all its banks, as aforetime. And the people came up out of the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan did Joshua set up in Gilgal. And he spoke unto the children of Israel, saying, When your children shall ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean these stones? Then ye shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry land, for the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until ye were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us, until we were passed over, that all the peoples of the earth may know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that ye may fear the Lord your God forever. Chapter 5. And it came to pass, when all the kings of the Amorites that were beyond the Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites that were by the sea, heard how that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan from before the children of Israel until they were passed over, that their hearts melted, neither was there spirit in them any more, because of the children of Israel. At that time the Lord said unto Joshua, Make thee knives of flint, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him knives of flint, and circumcised the children of Israel at Gibeath Ha'aralot. And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise. All the people that came forth out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way, after they came forth out of Egypt. For all the people that came out were circumcised. But all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, had not been circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the nation, even the men of war that came forth out of Egypt, were consumed, because they hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord swore that he would not let them see the land which the Lord swore unto their fathers, that he would give us a land flowing with milk and honey. And he raised up their children in their stead. Them did Joshua circumcise, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not been circumcised by the way. And it came to pass, when all the nation were circumcised, every one of them, that they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole. And the Lord said unto Joshua, This day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of that place was called Gilgal unto this day. And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the produce of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the produce of the land. Neither had the children of Israel manna any more, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him, and said unto him, Art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but I am captain of the host of the Lord. I am now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and bowed down, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Put off thy shoe from thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. End of Joshua chapter 5. Recording by Talie. Section 3 of the Holy Scriptures, according to the Masoretic text, a new translation. Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Talie. Joshua. Victory over Canaan, Jericho and Ai. Chapters 6 through 8. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out, and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thy hand Jericho, and the king thereof, even the mighty men of valor. And ye shall encompass the city, all the men of war, going about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 rams' horns before the ark. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times. And the priests shall blow with the horns. And it shall be that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the horn, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall go up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests, and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 rams' horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let the armed body pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it was so that when Joshua had spoken unto the people, the 7 priests bearing the 7 rams' horns before the Lord passed on, and blew with the horns, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew the horns, and the rearward went after the ark, the priests, blowing with the horns continually. And Joshua commanded the people, saying, Ye shall not shout, nor let your voice be heard, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I bid you shout. Then shall ye shout. So he caused the ark of the Lord to compass the city, going about it once. And they came into the camp, and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And the 7 priests bearing the 7 rams' horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the horns, and the armed men went before them. And the rearward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests, blowing with the horns continually. And the second day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day, that they rose early at the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the horns, that Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for the Lord hath given you the city, and the city shall be devoted, even it and all that is therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the devoted things, lest ye make yourselves accursed by taking of the devoted things, so should ye make the camp of Israel accursed, and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are holy unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted, and the priests blew with the horns. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the horn, that the people shouted with a great shout, and the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him. And they took the city, and they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, both young and old, and ox and sheep, and ass with the edge of the sword. And Joshua said unto the 2 men that had spied out the land, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman, and all that she hath, as ye swore unto her. And the young men, the spies, went in, and brought out Rahab, and her father, and her mother, and her brethren, and all that she had, all her kindred also they brought out. And they set them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire, and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron, they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. But Rahab the harlot and her father's household, and all that she had, did Joshua save alive, and she dwelt in the midst of Israel unto this day, because she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua charged the people with an oath at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that riseth up and buildeth this city, even Jericho. With the loss of his firstborn shall he lay the foundations thereof, and with the loss of his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was in all the land. Chapter 7. But the children of Israel committed a trespass concerning the devoted things. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the devoted thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spoke unto them, saying, Go up and spy out the land. And the men went up and spied out Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai. Make not all the people to toil thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, and they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them at the descent. And the hearts of the people melted, and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes, and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the evening, he and the elders of Israel, and they put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over the Jordan, to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to cause us to perish? Would that we had been content, and dwelt beyond the Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say after that Israel hath turned their backs before their enemies? For when the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land hear of it, they will compass us around, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do for thy great name? And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up. Wherefore now art thou fallen upon thy face? Israel hath sinned. Yea, they have even transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. Yea, they have even taken of the devoted thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also, and they have even put it among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel cannot stand before their enemies. They turn their backs before their enemies, because they are become accursed. I will not be with you any more, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, There is a curse in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall draw near by your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come near by families, and the family which the Lord shall take shall come near by households, and the household which the Lord shall take shall come near man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the devoted things shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he hath wrought a wanton deed in Israel. So Joshua rose up early in the morning, and brought Israel near by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought near the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zerathites. And he brought near the family of the Zerathites, man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought near his household, man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord, the God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide nothing from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Of a truth I have sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Shinar mantle, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them from the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and they laid them down before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the mantle, and the wedge of gold, and his sons and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them up unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and they burned them with fire, and stoned them with stones. And they raised over them a great heap of stones unto this day. And the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger. Wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day. Chapter 8. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king, as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof, and the cattle thereof, shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Set thee an ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua arose, and all the people of war, to go up to Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 men, the mighty men of valor, and sent them forth by night. And he commanded them, saying, Behold, ye shall lie in ambush against the city, behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them. And they will come out after us, till we have drawn them away from the city. For they will say, They flee before us, as at the first. So we will flee before them. And ye shall rise up from the ambush, and take possession of the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have seized upon the city, that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the word of the Lord shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. And Joshua sent them forth, and they went to the ambushment, and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and numbered the people, and went up, he and the elders of Israel, before the people to Ai. And all the people, even the men of war that were with him, went up, and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between him and Ai, and he took about 5,000 men, and set them in ambush between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. So the people set themselves in array, even all the host that was on the north of the city, their rear lying in wait on the west of the city. And Joshua went that night into the midst of the vale. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that the men of the city hastened and rose up early and went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at the time appointed in front of the Arabah. But he knew not that there was an ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not out after Israel. And they left the city open and pursued after Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Stretch out the javelin that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thy hand. And Joshua stretched out the javelin that was in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and entered into the city, and took it. And they hastened, and set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven. And they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned back and slew the men of Ai. And the other came forth out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side. And they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive, and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, even in the wilderness, wherein they pursued them, and they were all fallen by the edge of the sword, until they were consumed, that all Israel returned unto Ai, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And all that fell that day, both of men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not back his hand, wherewith he stretched out the javelin, until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of that city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according unto the word of the Lord, which he commanded Joshua. So Joshua burnt Ai, and made it a heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until the eventide. And at the going down of the sun Joshua commanded, and they took his carcass down from the tree, and cast it at the entrance of the gate of the city, and raised thereon a great heap of stones unto this day. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Lord, the God of Israel, in Mount Ebal, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of unhewn stones, upon which no man has lifted up any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote before the children of Israel. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side the ark, and on that side before the priests the Levites, that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well the stranger as the homeborn. Half of them in front of Mount Gerizim, and half of them in front of Mount Ebal, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded at the first, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessing and the curse, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the assembly of Israel, and the women and the little ones, and the strangers that walked among them. End of Joshua chapter 8. Recording by Talie.
Section 4 of the Holy Scriptures, according to the Masoretic text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Joshua, Section 4. Victory over Canaan, continued, Central and Southern. Chapters 9 and 10. And it came to pass, when all the kings that were beyond the Jordan, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and on all the shore of the great sea in front of Lebanon, the Hittite, and the Amorite, the Canaanite, and Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel, with one accord. But when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they also did work willily, and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wineskins, worn and rent, and patched up, and worn shoes, and clouted upon their feet, and worn garments upon them. And all the bread of their provision was dry, and was become crumbs. And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal, and said unto him, and to the men of Israel, We are come from a far country. Now therefore make ye a covenant with us. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a covenant with you? And they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are ye? And from whence come ye? And they said unto him, From a very far country thy servants are come, because of the name of the Lord thy God. For we have heard the fame of him, and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites that were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon king of Heshbon, and to Og king of Bashan, who was at Ashtaroth. And our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, Take provision in your hand for the journey, and go to meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants, and now make ye a covenant with us. This our bread we took hot from our provision out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry, and it is become crumbs. And these wineskins which we filled were new, and behold, they are rent. And these our garments and our shoes are worn by reason of the very long journey. And the men took of their provision, and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them, and made a covenant with them, to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swore unto them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days, after they had made a covenant with them, that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelt among them. And the children of Israel journeyed, and came into their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon, and Chephirah, and Beeroth, and Kirath-jearim. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord, the God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, We have sworn unto them by the Lord, the God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them, and let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we swore unto them. And the princes said concerning them, Let them live. So they became hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had spoken concerning them. And Joshua called for them, and he spoke unto them, saying, Wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, We are very far from you, when ye dwell among us? Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall never fail to be of you bondmen, both hewers of wood and drawers of water, for the house of my God. And they answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told thy servants, how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land, and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid for our lives, because of you, and have done this thing. And now, behold, we are in thy hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us, do. And so did he unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation, and for the altar of the Lord, unto this day, in the place which he should choose. 10. Now it came to pass, when Adozedek king of Jerusalem heard how Joshua had taken Ai, and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel, and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Piram, king of Jarmuth, and unto Jaffa, king of Lachish, and unto Deber, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me, and help me, and let us smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together, and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped against Gibeon, and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, Slack not thy hands from thy servants. Come up to help us quickly, and to save us, and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the hill country are gathered together against us. So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear them not, for I have delivered them into thy hand. There shall not a man of them stand against thee. Joshua therefore came upon them suddenly, for he went up from Gilgal all the night. And the Lord discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon. And they chased them by the way of the ascent of Bethhoron, and smote them to Azekah and unto Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, while they were at the descent of Bethhoron, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more who died with the hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. Then spoke Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou, moon, in the valley of Aijalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the nation had avenged themselves of their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jashar? And the sun stayed in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp of Gilgal. And these 5 kings fled, and hid themselves in the cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, The 5 kings are found hidden in the cave at Makkedah. And Joshua said, Roll great stones unto the mouth of the cave, and set men by it to keep them. But stay not ye, pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, and the remnant which remained of them had entered into the fortified cities, that all the people returned to the camp, to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None wetted his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, Open the mouth of the cave, and bring forth those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought forth those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the chiefs of the men of war that went with him, Come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near, and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, Fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. And afterward Joshua smote them, and put them to death, and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees, and cast them into the cave wherein they had hidden themselves, and laid great stones on the mouth of the cave unto this very day. And Joshua took Makkedah on that day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof he utterly destroyed them, and all the souls that were therein, he left none remaining. And he did to the king of Makkedah as he had done unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Makkedah, and all Israel with him, unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah, and the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof into the hand of Israel, and he smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining in it, and he did unto the king thereof as he had done unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Libnah, and all Israel with him, unto Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel. And he took it on the second day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein, according to all that he had done to Libnah. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua smote him and his people until he had left him none remaining. And Joshua passed from Lachish, and all Israel with him, unto Eglon, and they encamped against it, and fought against it, and they took it on that day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. And Joshua went up from Eglon, and all Israel with him, unto Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but he utterly destroyed it, and all the souls that were therein. And Joshua turned back, and all Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it, and he took it, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron, so he did to Debir, and to the king thereof, as he had done also to Libnah, and to the king thereof. So Joshua smote all the land, the hill country, and the south, and the lowland, and the slopes, and all their kings. He left none remaining, but he utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord the God of Israel commanded. And Joshua smote them from Kadesh Barnea, even unto Gaza, and all the country of Goshen, even unto Gibeon. And all these kings and their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord the God of Israel fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. End of Joshua chapter 10. Recording by Scarlett, Louisiana.
Section 5 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by K. Hand. Joshua. Victory over Canaan concluded, Northern. Summary of lands conquered and kings defeated. Instructions to Joshua. Chapters 11 through 13. 11. And it came to pass, when Jabin, king of Hazor, heard thereof, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Achshaph, and to the kings that were on the north, in the hill country, and in the Arba south of Chinneroth, and in the lowland, and in the regions of Dor on the west, to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the hill country, and the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. And they went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the sea shore in multitude, with horses and chariots very many. And all these kings met together, and they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight with Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Be not afraid because of them, for tomorrow at this time will I deliver them up all slain before Israel. Thou shalt huff their horses and burn their chariots with fire. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and fell upon them. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, and they smote them, and chased them unto great Zidon, and unto Misrephoth Maim, and unto the valley of Mizpah eastward. And they smote them until they left them none remaining. And Joshua did unto them as the Lord bade him. He houghed their horses, and burnt their chariots with fire. And Joshua turned back at that time, and took Hazor, and smote the king thereof with the sword. For Hazor beforetime was the head of all those kingdoms. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was none left that breathed. And he burnt Hazor with fire. And all the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them, did Joshua take, and he smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only; that did Joshua burn. And all the spoil of these cities, and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey unto themselves. But every man they smote with the edge of the sword, until they had destroyed them, neither left they any that breathed. As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hill country, and all the south, and all the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Arabah, and the hill country of Israel, and the lowland of the same, from the bare mountain that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baal-gad, in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon. And all their kings he took, and smote them, and put them to death. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. They took all in battle. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, to come against Israel in battle, that they might be utterly destroyed, that they might have no favor, but that they might be destroyed, as the Lord commanded Moses. And Joshua came at that time, and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. There was none of the Anakim left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod did some remain. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord spoke unto Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel according to their divisions by their tribes. And the land had rest from war. 12. Now these are the kings of the land, whom the children of Israel smote, and possessed their land beyond the Jordan toward the sunrising, from the valley of Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from the Aror, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the middle of the valley, and half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, the border of the children of Ammon. And the Arabah unto the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and unto the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea eastward, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and on the south under the slopes of Pisgah, and the border of Og king of Bashan, of the remnant of the Rephaim, who dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan unto the border of the Geshurites, and the Maacathites, and half Gilead, even unto the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Moses the servant of the Lord and the children of Israel smote them, and Moses the servant of the Lord gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the children of Israel smote beyond the Jordan westward, from Baal-gad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the bare mountain that goeth up to Seir. And Joshua gave it unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and in the Arabah, and in the slopes, and in the wilderness, and in the south, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Geder, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The the king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Adullam, 1. The king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Beth-el, 1. The king of Tappuah, 1. The king of Hepher, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Sharon, 1. The king of Madon, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron-Meron, 1. The king of Achshaph, 1. The king of Tanakh, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Kedesh, 1. The king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1. The king of Dor in the region of Dor, 1. The king of Goram in the Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. All the kings 30 and 1. 13. Now Joshua was old and well stricken in years, and the Lord said unto him, Thou art old and well stricken in years, and there remaineth yet very much land to be possessed. This is the land that yet remaineth, all the regions of the Philistines, and all the Geshurites, from the Shihor, which is before Egypt, even unto the border of Ekron northward, which is counted to the Canaanites. The 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazite, and the Ashdodite, the Ashkelonite, the Gittite, and the Ekronite, also the Avim on the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Mearah, that belongeth to the Zidonians, unto Aphek, to the border of the Amorites, and the land of the Gebalites, and all Lebanon, toward the sunrising, from Baal-gad under Mount Hermon unto the entrance of Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon unto Misrephoth-maim, even all the Zidonians. Them will I drive out from before the children of Israel. Only allot thou it unto Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded thee. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance unto the 9 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh. With him the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them, beyond the Jordan eastward, even as Moses the servant of the Lord gave them, from Aroer that is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland from Medeba unto Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, unto the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of the Geshurites, and the Maacathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan unto Salcah. All the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei, the same was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. For these did Moses smite, and drove them out. Nevertheless the children of Israel drove not out the Geshurites nor the Maacathites, but Gesher and Maacath dwelt in the midst of Israel unto this day. Only unto the tribe of Levi he gave no inheritance. The offerings of the Lord, the God of Israel, made by fire are his inheritance, as he spoke unto him. And Moses gave unto the tribe of the children of Reuben according to their families. And their border was from Aroer, that is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland by Medeba, Heshbon and all her cities that are in the tableland, Dibon and Bameth-baal, and Beth-balmeon, and Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephaath, and Kiriathaim, and Sibmah, and Zareth-Shahar, in the mount of the valley, and Beth-peor, and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth-jeshemoth, and all the cities of the tableland, and all the kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses smote with the chiefs of Midian, Evi, and Rechon, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, the princes of Sihon, that dwelt in the land. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among the rest of their slain. And as for the border of the children of Reuben, the Jordan was their border. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben, according to their families, the cities and the villages thereof. And Moses gave unto the tribe of Gad, unto the children of Gad, according to their families. And their border was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon unto Aror that is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon unto Ramath Mizpeh and Betanim, and from Mahanaim unto the border of Lidber, and in the valley Beth-haram, and Beth-nimrah, and Succoth, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon, the Jordan being the border thereof, unto the uttermost part of the sea of Chinnereth, beyond the Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad according to their families, the cities and the villages thereof. And Moses gave inheritance unto the half tribe of Manasseh, and it was for the half tribe of the children of Manasseh according to their families. And their border was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og king of Bashan, and all the villages of Jair, which are in Bashan, 80 cities, and half Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan, were for the children of Machir the son of Manasseh, even for the half of the children of Machir according to their families. These are the inheritances which Moses distributed in the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward. But unto the tribe of Levi Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he spoke unto them. End of Joshua, chapter 13. Section 6 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Kay Hand. Joshua, Division of Land among the Tribes, chapters 14 through 16. 14. And these are the inheritances which the children of Israel took in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed unto them, by the lot of their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes, and for the half tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half tribe beyond the Jordan, but unto the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they gave no portion unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with the open land about them for their cattle and for their substance. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah drew nigh unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord spoke unto Moses the man of God concerning me and concerning thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him back word as it was in my heart. Nevertheless my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy foot hath trodden shall be an inheritance to thee and to thy children forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive as he spoke these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word unto Moses, while Israel walked in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war, and to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain whereof the Lord spoke in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakim were there, and cities great and fortified. It may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out, as the Lord spoke. And Joshua blessed him, and he gave Hebron unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh for an inheritance. Therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord the God of Israel. Now the name of Hebron beforetime was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim, and the land had rest from war. 15. And the lot for the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families was unto the border of Edom, even to the wilderness of Zin, southward at the uttermost part of the south. And their south border was from the uttermost part of the salt sea, from the bay that looked southward. And it went out southward of the ascent of Akrabim, and passed along to Zin, and went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along by Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka. And it passed along to Asmon, and went out at the brook of Egypt, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. This shall be your south border. And the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of the Jordan. And the border of the north side was from the bay of the sea at the end of the Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up to Debir from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is, over against the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the brook. And the border passed along to the waters of En-shemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom unto the side of the Jebusite southward, the same as Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the uttermost part of the vale of Rephaim northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the mountain unto the fountain of the waters of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border was drawn to Baalah, the same as Kiriath Jearim. And the border turned about from Baalah westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of Mount Jearim on the north. The same is Chesalon, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed along by Timnah. And the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward. And the border was drawn to Shikkeron, and passed along to Mount Baalah, and went out at Jabneel. And the goings out of the border were at the sea. And as for the west border, the great sea was the border thereof. This is the border of the children of Judah round about according to their families. And unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a portion among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak. The same is Hebron. And Caleb drove out thence the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And he went up thence against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir beforetime was Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kiriath Sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Achsah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass when she came unto him that she persuaded him to ask of her father a field, and she alighted from off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? And she said, Give me a blessing, for that thou hast set me in the southland. Give me therefore springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. And the cities at the uttermost part of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel, and Eder, and Jagur, and Kinnah, and Dimonah, and Adadah, and Kedesh, and Hazor, and Ithnan, Ziph, and Telem, and Beloth, and Hazor, and Hadattah, and Kerioth, and Hezron, the same as Hazor, Amam, and Shema, and Moladah, and Hazar Gaddah, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Biziothea, Baalah, and Eim, and Ezim, and El-Tolad, and Chesel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmenah, and Sansannah, and Leboath, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages. In the lowland, Eshtaol, and Zorah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and Engannim, Tappuah, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soko, and Azekah, and Sharam, and Adathaim, and Gederah, with Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenon, and Hadashah, and Migdalgad, and Dilan, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Bozkath, and Eglon, and Cabin, and Lamas, and Chithlish, and Gederoth, Beth Dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Iftah, and Ashna, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Achzib, and Marishah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron even unto the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod, its towns and its villages. Gaza, its towns and its villages, unto the brook of Egypt, the great sea, being the border thereof. And in the hill country, Shamir, and Jatir, and Soko, and Dana, and Kiriath Sana, the same as Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemoh, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, and Rumah, and Eshen, and Janum, and Beth Tappuah, and Aphekah, and Humtah, and Kiriath Arba, the same as Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah. Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhol, Beth Zur, and Gedor, and Marath, and Bethanoth, and Eccleton, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath Baal, the same is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Middin, and Sekakah, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. And as for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwelt with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. 16. And the lot for the children of Joseph went out from the Jordan at Jericho, at the waters of Jericho on the east, going up from Jericho through the hill country to the wilderness, even to Beth El. And it went out from Beth El Luz, and passed along unto the border of the Archites to Ataroth. And it went down westward to the border of the Japhletites, unto the border of Beth Horon the Nether, even unto Gezer, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. And the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance eastward was Atroth Adar, unto Beth Horon the upper. And the border went out westward, Mikmethoth being on the north, and the border turned about eastward unto Tanath Shiloh, and passed along it on the east of Janoah. And it went down from Janoah to Ashtaroth and to Nara, and reached unto Jericho, and went out at the Jordan. From Tappuah the border went along westward to the brook of Canaan, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families, together with the cities which were separated for the children of Ephraim in the midst of the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. And they drove not out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in the midst of Ephraim unto this day, and became servants to do taskwork. End of chapter 16. Section 7 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by K. Hand. Joshua, Section 7. Division of the land continued. Chapters 17 through 19. Chapter 17. And this was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. And the lot was for the rest of the children of Manasseh according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Azriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh the son of Joseph according to their family. But Zelophehad the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters. And these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 parts to Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons. And the land of Gilead belonged unto the rest of the sons of Manasseh. And the border of Manasseh was, beginning from Asher, Michmethath, which is before Shechem, and the border went along to the right hand unto the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the border went down unto the brook of Canaan, southward of the brook, by cities which belonged to Ephraim, among the cities of Manasseh. But the border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was his border. And they reached to Asher on the north, and to Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Bethshean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, even the 3 regions. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites were resolved to dwell in that land. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxen strong, that they put the Canaanites to taskwork, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spoke unto Joshua, saying, Why hast thou given me but one lot and one part for an inheritance, seeing I am a great people, forasmuch as the Lord hath blessed me thus? And Joshua said unto them, If thou be a great people, get thee up to the forest, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for thee. And the children of Joseph said, The hill country will not be enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are in Beth-shean and its towns, and they who are in the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spoke unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people, and hast great power. Thou shalt not have one lot only. But the hill country shall be thine, for though it is a forest, thou shalt cut it down, and the goings out thereof shall be thine, for thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have chariots of iron, and though they be strong. 18. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh, and set up the tent of meeting there, and the land was subdued before them. And there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes which had not yet received their inheritance. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, How long are ye slack to go in to possess the land which the Lord, the God of your fathers, hath given you? Appoint for you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall arise and walk through the land, and describe it according to their inheritance, and they shall come unto me. And they shall divide it into 7 portions. Judah shall abide in his border on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their border on the north. And ye shall describe the land into 7 portions, and bring the description hither to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. For the Levites have no portion among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance. And Gad and Reuben and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan eastward, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. And the men arose and went, and Joshua charged them that went to describe the land, saying, Go and walk through the land, and describe it, and come back to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord in Shiloh. And the men went out and passed through the land, and described it by cities into 7 portions in a book. And they came to Joshua unto the camp at Shiloh. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions. And the lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the border of their lot went out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. And their border on the north side was from the Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north, and went up through the hill country westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Beth Aven. And the border passed along from thence to Luz, to the side of Luz, the same is Bethel, southward. And the border went down to Atroth Adar, by the mountain that lieth on the south of Beth Horon the nether. And the border was drawn and turned about on the west side southward, from the mountain that lieth before Beth Horon southward. And the goings out thereof were at Kiriath Baal, the same is Kiriath Jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west side. And the south side was from the uttermost part of Kiriath Jearim, and the border went out westward, and went out to the fountain of the waters of Nephtoah. And the border went down to the uttermost part of the mountain that lieth before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is in the vale of Rephaim, northward. And it went down to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusite southward, and went down to En Rogel. And it was drawn on the north, and went out at En Shemesh, and went out to Geliath, which is over against the ascent of Adumim. And it went down to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. And it passed along to the side over against the Arabah northward, and went down unto the Arabah. And the border passed along to the side of Beth Hoglah northward, and the goings out of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of the Jordan. This was the south border. And the Jordan was to be the border of it on the east side. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin by the borders thereof round about, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, and Beth Hoglah, and Emek Keziz, and Beth Arabah, and Zemaraim, and Beth El, and Avim, and Parah, and Ophrah, and Sephar Ammanoah, and Ophni, and Geba, 12 cities with their villages, Gibeon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpah, and Chephra, and Moza, and Rechem, and Irpeel, and Teralah, and Zelah, Eleph, and the Jebusite, the same is Jerusalem, Gibeath, and Kiriath, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin according to their families. 19. And the second lot came out for Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon according to their families, and their inheritance was in the midst of the inheritance of the children of Judah. And they had for their inheritance Beersheba, with Sheba and Moladah, and Hazar Shual, and Bala, and Ezim, and Eltolad, and Bethel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Beth Markaboth, and Hazar Susah, and Beth Lebaoth, and Sharuhen, 13 cities with their villages, Ain, Rimmon, and Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities with their villages, and all the villages that were round about these cities to Baalath Beer, as far as Ramah of the south. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Simeon according to their families. Out of the allotment of the children of Judah was the inheritance of the children of Simeon, for the portion of the children of Judah was too much for them. Therefore the children of Simeon had inheritance in the midst of their inheritance. And the third lot came up for the children of Zebulun according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was unto Sarid. And their border went up westward even to Maralah, and reached to Dabbesheth, and it reached to the brook that is before Jokanim. And it turned from Sarid eastward toward the sun rising unto the border of Chisloth Tabor, and it went out to Dobrath, and went up to Japhia. And from thence it passed along eastward to Gath Hepher, to Eth Kazin, and it went out at Rimmon Methoar unto Hia. And the border turned about it on the north to Hanathon, and the goings out thereof were at the valley of Iphtahel, and Katath, and Nahalal, and Shimron, and Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Zebulun according to their families, these cities with their villages. The fourth lot came out for Issachar, even for the children of Issachar according to their families. And their border was Jezreel, and Chesulloth, and Shunem, and Hapharaim, and Shion, and Anaharath, and Rabbith, and Kishion, and Ebez, and Remeth, and En-gammon, and En-haddah, and Beth-pazzez. And the border reached to Tabor, and Shahazim, and Beth-shemesh. And the goings out of their border were at the Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Issachar according to their families, the cities with their villages. And the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families. And their border was Helkath, and Hali, and Beton, and Achshaph, and Alamelech, and Amad, and Mishal, and it reached to Carmel westward, and to Shehor-libnath. And it turned toward the sun rising to Beth Dagon, and reached to Zebulun, and to the valley of Iphtahel, northward at Beth Emek and Neiel. And it went out to Kabul on the left hand, and Ebron, and Rehob, and Hammon, and Cana, even unto great Zidon. And the border turned to Ramah, and to the fortified city of Tyre, and the border turned to Hosah, and the goings out thereof were at the sea from Hebel to Achzib, Umah also, and Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came out for the children of Naphtali, even for the children of Naphtali according to their families. And their border was from Heleph, from Elon Bezananim, and Adam Nekeb, and Jabneel, unto Lakum, and the goings out thereof were at the Jordan. And the border turned westward to Aznoth Tabor, and went out from thence to Hukok. And it reached to Zebulun on the south, and reached to Asher on the west, and to Judah at the Jordan toward the sun rising. And the fortified cities were Zidom Zur, and Hamath, and Raketh, and Chinneroth, and Adamah, and Ramah, and Hazor, and Kadesh, and Edrei, and En-hazor, and Iron, and Migdalel, and Horem, and Bethanath, and Beth-shemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Naphtali according to their families, the cities with their villages. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families. And the border of their inheritance was Zorah, and Eshtaol, and Ir-shemesh, and Shalabin, and Aijalon, and Ithlah, and Elon, and Timnah, and Ekron, and Eltekeh, and Gibbethon, and Baalath, and Jehud, and Bene Barak, and Gathrimmon, and Me-jarkon, and Rakkon, with the border over against Joppa. And the border of the children of Dan was too strait for them. So the children of Dan went up and fought against Leshem, and took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and possessed it, and dwelt therein, and called Leshem Dan, after the name of Dan their father. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families, these cities with their villages. When they had made an end of distributing the land for inheritance by the borders thereof, the children of Israel gave an inheritance to Joshua the son of Nun in the midst of them. According to the commandment of the Lord, they gave him the city which he asked, even Timnath-serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt therein. These are the inheritances which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for inheritance by lot in Shiloh before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. So they made an end of dividing the land. End of Joshua chapter 19. Section 8 of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by K. Hand. Joshua. Cities of refuge, summary of conquest and decommissioning of the eastern tribes. Chapters 20 through 22. Chapter 20. And the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Assign you the cities of refuge, whereof I spoke unto you by the hand of Moses, that the manslayer that killeth any person through error and unawares may flee thither, and they shall be unto you for a refuge from the avenger of blood. And he shall flee unto one of those cities, and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city, and declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city. And they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place, that he may dwell among them. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver up the manslayer into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unawares, and hated him not beforetime. And he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. Then may the manslayer return and come unto his own city and unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. And they set apart Kedesh and Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, the same is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. And beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness in the tableland out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the appointed cities for all the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them, that whosoever killeth any person through error might flee thither, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until he stood before the congregation. 21. Then came near the heads of fathers' houses of the Levites unto Eleazar the priest, and unto Joshua the son of Nun, and unto the heads of fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel. And they spoke unto them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan, saying, The Lord commanded by the hand of Moses to give us cities to dwell in, with the open land thereabout for our cattle. And the children of Israel gave unto the Levites out of their inheritance, according to the commandment of the Lord, these cities with the open land about them. And the lot came out for the families of the Kohathites, and the children of Aaron the priest, who were of the Levites, had by lot out of the tribe of Judah, and out of the tribe of the Simeonites, and out of the tribe of Benjamin, 13 cities. And the rest of the children of Kohath had by lot out of the families of the tribe of Ephraim, and out of the tribe of Dan, and out of the half tribe of Manasseh, 10 cities. And the children of Gershon had by lot out of the families of the tribe of Issachar, and out of the tribe of Asher, and out of the tribe of Naphtali, and out of the half tribe of Manasseh in Bashan, 13 cities. The children of Merari, according to their families, had out of the tribe of Reuben, and out of the tribe of Gad, and out of the tribe of Zebulun, 12 cities. And the children of Israel gave by lot unto the Levites these cities with the open land about them, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. And they gave out of the tribe of the children of Judah, and out of the tribe of the children of Simeon, these cities which are here mentioned by name. And they were for the children of Aaron, of the families of the Kohathites, who were of the children of Levi, for theirs was the first lot. And they gave them Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak, the same is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, with the open land round about it. But the fields of the city and the villages thereof gave they to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, for his possession. And unto the children of Aaron the priest they gave Hebron with the open land about it, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Libnah with the open land about it, and Jatir with the open land about it, and Eshtemoa with the open land about it, and Holon with the open land about it, and Debir with the open land about it, and Ain with the open land about it, and Juttah with the open land about it, and Beth Shemesh with the open land about it, 9 cities out of those 2 tribes. And out of the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with the open land about it, Geba with the open land about it, Anathoth with the open land about it, and Almon with the open land about it, 4 cities. All the cities of the children of Aaron the priests were 13 cities with the open land about them. And the families of the children of Kohath the Levites, even the rest of the children of Kohath, they had the cities of their lot out of the tribe of Ephraim, and they gave them Shechem with the open land about it in the hill country of Ephraim, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Gezer with the open land about it, and Kibzaim with the open land about it, and Beth Horon with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Dan, Elteke with the open land about it, Gibbethon with the open land about it, Aijalon with the open land about it, Gath-Rimmon with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the half tribe of Manasseh, Tanakh with the open land about it, and Gath-Rimmon with the open land about it, 2 cities. All the cities of the families of the rest of the children of Kohath were 10 with the open land about them. And unto the children of Gershon, of the families of the Levites, out of the half tribe of Manasseh, they gave Golan and Bashan with the open land about it, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Beeshterah with the open land about it, 2 cities. And out of the tribe of Issachar, Kishion with the open land about it, Dobrath with the open land about it, Jarmuth with the open land about it, Engannim with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Asher, Mishal with the open land about it, Abdon with the open land about it, Helkath with the open land about it, and Rehob with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh in Galilee with the open land about it, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Hamath-dor with the open land about it, and Kartan with the open land about it, 3 cities. All the cities of the Gershonites, according to their families, were 13 cities with the open land about them. And unto the families of the children of Merari, the rest of the Levites, out of the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with the open land about it, and Kartah with the open land about it, Dimnah with the open land about it, Nahalal with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Reuben, Bezer with the open land about it, and Jahaz with the open land about it, Kedemoth with the open land about it, and Mephath with the open land about it, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead with the open land about it, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Manaheim with the open land about it, Heshbon with the open land about it, Jazer with the open land about it, 4 cities in all. All these were the cities of the children of Merari, according to their families, even the rest of the families of the Levites, and their lot was 12 cities. All the cities of the Levites, 48 cities with the open land about them, shall be in the midst of the possession of the children of Israel. Even these cities, every one with the open land round about it. Thus it shall be with all these cities. So the Lord gave unto Israel all the land which he swore to give unto their fathers, and they possessed it, and dwelt therein. And the Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that he swore unto their fathers. And there stood not a man of all their enemies against them. The Lord delivered all their enemies into their hand. There failed not aught of any good thing which the Lord had spoken unto the house of Israel. All came to pass. 22. Then Joshua called the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and said unto them, Ye have kept all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, and have hearkened unto my voice in all that I commanded you. Ye have not left your brethren these many days unto this day, but have kept the charge of the commandment of the Lord your God. And now the Lord your God hath given rest unto your brethren, as he spoke unto them. Therefore now turn ye, and get you unto your tents, unto the land of your possession, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you beyond the Jordan. Only take diligent heed to do the commandment and the law, which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, to love the Lord your God, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave unto him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went unto their tents. Now to the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh Moses had given inheritance in Bashan, but unto the other half gave Joshua among their brethren beyond the Jordan westward. Moreover, when Joshua sent them away unto their tents, he blessed them, and spoke unto them, saying, Return with much wealth unto your tents, and with very much cattle, with silver and with gold, and with brass, and with iron, and with very much raiment. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brethren. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh returned, and departed from the children of Israel out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go into the land of Gilead, to the land of their possession, whereof they were possessed, according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. And when they came unto the region about the Jordan, that is in the land of Canaan, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by the Jordan, a great altar to look upon. And the children of Israel heard say, Behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh have built an altar in the forefront of the land of Canaan, in the region about the Jordan, on the side that pertaineth to the children of Israel. And when the children of Israel heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Israel gathered themselves together at Shiloh, to go up against them to war. And the children of Israel sent unto the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh into the land of Gilead, Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 princes, one prince of a father's house for each of the tribes of Israel. And they were every one of them head of their fathers' houses among the thousands of Israel. And they came unto the children of Reuben, and to the children of Gad, and to the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh, unto the land of Gilead, and they spoke with them, saying, Thus saith the whole congregation of the Lord, What treachery is this that ye have committed against the God of Israel, to turn away this day from following the Lord, in that ye have builded you an altar, to rebel this day against the Lord? Is the iniquity of Peor too little for us, from which we have not cleansed ourselves unto this day, although there came a plague upon the congregation of the Lord, that ye must turn away this day from following the Lord? And it will be, seeing ye rebel today against the Lord, that tomorrow he will be wroth with the whole congregation of Israel. Howbeit, if the land of your possession be unclean, then pass ye over into the land of the possession of the Lord, wherein the Lord's tabernacle dwelleth, and take possession among us. But rebel not against the Lord, nor rebel against us, in building you an altar besides the altar of the Lord our God. Did not Achan the son of Zerah commit a trespass concerning the devoted thing, and wrath fell upon all the congregation of Israel, and that man perished not alone in his iniquity? Then the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh answered, and spoke unto the heads of the thousands of Israel, God, God the Lord, God, God the Lord, he knoweth, and Israel he shall know, if it be in rebellion, or if in treachery against the Lord. Save thou us not this day, that we have built us an altar to turn away from following the Lord, or if to offer thereon burnt offering, or meal offering, or if to offer sacrifices of peace offerings thereon, let the Lord himself require it. And if we have not rather out of anxiety about a matter done this, saying, In time to come your children might speak unto our children, saying, What have ye to do with the Lord, the God of Israel? For the Lord hath made the Jordan a border between us and you, ye children of Reuben and children of Gad, ye have no portion in the Lord. So might your children make our children cease from fearing the Lord. Therefore we said, Let us now prepare to build us an altar, not for burnt offering, nor for sacrifice. But it shall be a witness between us and you, and between our generations after us, that we may do the service of the Lord before him with our burnt offerings, and with our sacrifices, and with our peace offerings, that your children may not say to our children in time to come, Ye have no portion in the Lord. Therefore said we, It shall be, when they so say to us, or to our generations in time to come, that we shall say, Behold the pattern of the altar of the Lord, which our fathers made. not for burnt offering, nor for sacrifice, but it is witness between us and you. Far be it from us that we should rebel against the Lord, and turn away this day from following the Lord, to build an altar for burnt offering, for meal offering, or for sacrifice, beside the altar of the Lord our God that is before his tabernacle. And when Phinehas the priest, and the princes of the congregation, even the heads of the thousands of Israel that were with him, heard the words that the children of Reuben, and the children of Gad, and the children of Manasseh spoke, it pleased them well. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, said unto the children of Reuben, and to the children of Gad, and to the children of Manasseh, This day we know that the Lord is in the midst of us, because ye have not committed this treachery against the Lord. Now have ye delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of the Lord. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, and the princes returned from the children of Reuben and from the children of Gad out of the land of Gilead unto the land of Canaan to the children of Israel, and brought them back word. And the thing pleased the children of Israel, and the children of Israel blessed God, and spoke no more of going up against them to war, to destroy the land wherein the children of Reuben and the children of Gad dwelt. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad called the altar, For it is a witness between us that the Lord is God. End of chapter 22.
Section 9 of the Holy Scriptures, according to the Masoretic text, a new translation, Joshua. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Joshua, Section 9, Conclusion. Joshua's farewell address, Covenant at Shechem, Joseph's burial. Chapters 23 and 24. And it came to pass after many days, when the Lord had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, and Joshua was old and well stricken in years, that Joshua called for all Israel, for their elders, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and said unto them, I am old and well stricken in years, and ye have seen all that the Lord your God hath done unto all these nations because of you. For the Lord your God, he it is that hath fought for you. Behold, I have allotted unto you for an inheritance, according to your tribes, these nations that remain from the Jordan, with all the nations that I have cut off, even unto the great sea, toward the going down of the sun. And the Lord your God, he shall thrust them out from before you, and drive them from out of your sight, and ye shall possess their land, as the Lord your God spoke unto you. Therefore be ye very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left, that ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor worship them, but cleave unto the Lord your God, as ye have done unto this day. Wherefore the Lord hath driven out from before you great nations and mighty. But as for you, no man hath stood against you unto this day. One man of you hath chased 1,000, for the Lord your God, he it is that fought for you, as he spoke unto you. Take good heed therefore unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. Else, if ye do in any wise go back, and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive these nations from out of your sight, but they shall be a snare and a trap unto you, and a scourge in your sides and pricks in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth. Consider ye therefore in all your heart and in all your soul, that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which the Lord your God spoke concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, not one thing hath failed thereof. And it shall come to pass, that as all the good things are come upon you, of which the Lord your God spoke unto you, so shall the Lord bring upon you all the evil things, until he have destroyed you from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. When ye transgress the covenant of the Lord your God, which he commanded you, and go and serve other gods and worship them, then shall the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you. Chapter 24. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem, and called for the elders of Israel, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and they presented themselves before God. And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Your fathers dwelt of old time beyond the river, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. And I took your father Abraham from beyond the river, and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed, and gave him Isaac. And I gave unto Isaac Jacob and Esau. And I gave unto Esau Mount Seir to possess it. And Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. And I sent Moses and Aaron, and I plagued Egypt according to that which I did in the midst thereof. And afterward I brought you out. And I brought your fathers out of Egypt, and ye came into the sea. And the Egyptians pursued after your fathers with chariots and with horsemen unto the Red Sea. And when they cried out unto the Lord, he put darkness between you and the Egyptians, and brought the sea upon them, and covered them. And your eyes saw what I did in Egypt. And ye dwelt in the wilderness many days. And I brought you into the land of the Amorites, that dwelt beyond the Jordan. And they fought with you. And I gave them into your hand, and ye possessed their land. And I destroyed them from before you. Then Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and fought against Israel. And he sent and called Balaam, the son of Beor, to curse you. But I would not hearken unto Balaam. Therefore he even blessed you. So I delivered you out of his hand. And ye went over the Jordan, and came unto Jericho. And the men of Jericho fought against you, the Amorite, and the Perizzite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. And I delivered them into your hand. And I sent the hornet before you, which drove them out from before you, even the 2 kings of the Amorites, not with thy sword, nor with thy bow. And I gave you a land whereon thou hast not labored, and cities which ye built not, and ye dwell therein, of vineyards and oliveyards, which ye planted not, do ye eat. Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered and said, Far be it from us that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For the Lord our God, he it is that brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, and that did those great signs in our sight, and preserved us in all the way wherein we went, and among all the peoples through the midst of whom we passed. And the Lord drove out from before us all the peoples, even the Amorites that dwelt in the land. Therefore we also will serve the Lord, for he is our God. And Joshua said unto the people, Ye cannot serve the Lord, for he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your transgression nor your sins. If ye forsake the Lord and serve strange gods, then he will turn and do you evil and consume you. After that he hath done you good. And the people said unto Joshua, Nay, but we will serve the Lord. And Joshua said unto the people, Ye are witnesses against yourselves, that ye have chosen you the Lord, to serve him. And they said, We are witnesses. Now therefore put away the strange gods which are among you, and incline your heart unto the Lord, the God of Israel. And the people said unto Joshua, The Lord our God will we serve, and unto his voice will we hearken. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and set them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a great stone and set it up there under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said unto all the people, Behold, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it hath heard all the words of the Lord which he spoke unto us. It shall be therefore a witness against you, lest ye deny your God. So Joshua sent the people away, every man unto his inheritance. And it came to pass after these things, that Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-serah, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, on the north of the mountain of Gaash. And Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, and had known all the work of the Lord, that he had wrought for Israel. And the bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel brought up out of Egypt, buried they in Shechem, in the parcel of ground which Jacob bought of the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. And they became the inheritance of the children of Joseph. And Eleazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him in the hill of Phinehas his son, which was given him in Mount Ephraim. End of chapter 24. Recording by Scarlett, Louisiana. End of the Holy Scriptures according to the Masoretic Text, a new translation. Joshua, published by the Jewish Publication Society of America.